to get to the space of actor and people regarding your hyphenate, directing hyphenate, as something that's not a thing that you're doing out of vanity. It's something that you're doing because you truly have realized within yourself that there is a part of the storytelling process that you want to be involved in a much deeper level.
You worked with John Singleton and so many others in the 90s in films that, in a way, defined an era and inspired so many of us, myself included. Was your journey to becoming a director inevitable? Did you always know that that was something you were going to do?
I did not always know, but I do believe that my journey to become a director was inevitable. It's funny because throughout this process of promoting One Night in Miami, there have been, I don't know if you've felt this, but sometimes memories come back when you're having certain experiences that remind you or either let you know, oh, wow, that happened in preparation for this moment.
Right.
While I didn't know that that's what was happening, my experiences with John, particularly in between Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice. Poetic Justice, once I'd gotten the part, I reached out to John and had just so many questions. And I think my excitement and the depth of my questions made him open up, or inspired him to open up his entire preparation process for me. And up until that time, I did not realize all that entails when you're a director, to get to the moment that I'm actually spending with the director as the actor. So, you know, I was able to see his storyboards and him putting the storyboards together, and watching some films with him that inspired him or that were inspiration for Poetic Justice. I was able to hear him having conversations, deciding what department heads would be coming on board for a couple positions he hadn't yet hired. So that, and I was just fascinated and blown away. But I can't say in that moment I was feeling like I'm going to do this. Yes. My respect level for the director definitely, you know, moved up a notch or two.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely selfish here and share something with you that I probably shouldn't, because it's incredibly uncool. But I feel really, really lucky having this conversation with you right now, because much like yourself, I've been on screen for a long time. I've been on TV and been in some films and been on screen in front of camera for just over 30 years now. And I am at the precipice of releasing my first film as a writer-director. It is the weirdest and most exciting experience, which you're going through yourself. Now, you're ever so slightly ahead of me as an Oscar-winning director who steps up to make and release their first film. I am in the edit, and I'm a little way away from the actual release of my first feature. But with people now finally seeing your baby, people finally seeing your work, how does it actually feel?
Oh, the anxiety doesn't go away, Reggie.
Right.
So just be prepared. Just be prepared, and congratulations, because it's not an easy feat to get to the point, to get to the space of actor and people regarding your hyphenate, directing hyphenate, as something that's not a thing that you're doing out of vanity. It's something that you're doing because you truly have realized within yourself that there is a part of the storytelling process that you want to be involved in a much deeper level. You want to have more control of the aesthetic and the tone and the story that you're telling, and you're able to do that as a director. And I just think as actors, once we made that discovery on a conscious level, we were ready to actively pursue it. So one of the things that I've learned along the way, speaking to directors that are veterans, you know,
Yes.
because we're kind of freshmen in this right now, but that nervous energy that we feel, they still feel that, you know, to this day, even after having done, you know, several films.
Yes.
And I guess I really could understand that when they share that with me, because I don't know if you still feel this as an actor, but I still get nervous that first day of work. You know, you got to get all of the um, that nervous energy out. And I feel like if I didn't feel nervous on my first day or on a particularly uh, big scene, then I should probably be even more nervous, because that means it doesn't mean a lot to me.
Now, when it comes to actors who have gone on to actually direct, there's a few that I've become obsessed with and really dug into their history as an actor and their history as a director. And someone who's around the same age as me, who's gone through a similar journey recently, is Jonah Hill. And in a lot of his interviews, he said the same thing over and over, which I really liked. And that was him comparing his time on set as an actor to film school, only his tutors were Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. For you, you mentioned John Singleton, who you worked with a ton of times. Would you say that your tutors were your directors?
Well, absolutely. But I think even beyond that, once I really understood the process that takes place that doesn't involve me as an actor, um, it extended beyond that. You know, I was spending more time with the production designer and in the art department
Yes.
during times that I wasn't shooting, or I'm in my trailer or whatever, waiting for one of my scenes to come up. Just those conversations that I would have in depth with the prop master, all of those things I think were part of my education. You know, along the way, deeper conversations with the DP, and conversations. I'll tell you what. Not only, I would say, as in the conversations that I've had with other crew members outside of the director that were as impactful as the directors were with the camera operators.
I think something that I learn from the people that I admire massively is their decision making, and
Mm.
their choices sort of reflect their perspective in a lot of ways. So for you to uh, be the lead in a show like Watchmen, for instance, that has such an important issue at its heart and is making quite an interesting statement in a really fresh way, it's quite daring. And it's, I never thought that I would see you be a superhero type cop in a drama that spoke to race, that also had crazy elements that spoke to one of my favorite graphic novels of all time. That level of choice is a risk, but to take that risk and for it to pay off in the way that it has done, to me, is massively influential.
I think as life has moved forward for me, thank God I've acquired a little wisdom along the way. I've gotten to know myself better. Becoming a parent definitely just kind of cracks your heart wide open, and you can look at things beyond yourself, and you usually looking at things or making choices with your children. Um, they're the first thing that you consider
Yes.
as you are making decisions.
Yeah.
So that being said, I feel like there was a point in my life that, and maybe somewhere around 2010, where I think it became very uh, much a common theme that I was gravitating to projects that truly spoke to social issues that were going on, or at least holding a mirror up and just kind of forcing conversations that encouraged people to look at our reflection, specifically in America.
Mm.
And I don't think I was as aware that that was happening until Watchmen, and look back at everything from Southland to American Crime to Bill Street Could Talk to 7 Seconds, that all of these pieces of work these stories that I was a part of, these storytellers that I was collaborating with, our values and our feeling that it was necessary to tell these type of stories were aligning.
Mm.
And that is uh, the space that I've been in, and the circumstances that have taken place in my life have led me to these choices.
Yeah.
So I guess when you speak about legacy in that regard, it is absolutely important to me. I feel like, this film One Night in Miami kind of speaks a bit to some of the themes that are going on within the film, kind of speak to that, what does social responsibility look like for you as an artist? And I feel that, like I said, maybe 10 years ago, it started becoming more clear to
For
me
sure.
what my personal uh, journey is when using my voice when it comes to social responsibility.